You can't mention the 2019 national champion LSU Tigers without Siaki Ika's name. Even though the man they call a poo was chosen in the 3rd round of the NFL draft, the Browns got a player that has first-round talent. On a slider scale similar to Madden, I will rank power moves, finesse moves, tackling, pass rush ability, and run stuff ability, based on point values and weightings. At the end of this video, you will have a comprehensive outlook on the player without having to know everything about the X's and O's, but also having a knowledgeable approach like an NFL scout. This is Sliders. Siaki Ika has been one of my favorite players over the last 4 years, with his 2-year stint at LSU and his last 2 years being at Baylor. The 4.5 sacks on his stat sheet are one of those things that doesn't jump out to you, but because of his physicality and his underrated finesse that he does have at the position, makes him fly under the radar for most people. But when you really know football and you really break down the tape, there's a lot to like about his characteristics as a defensive tackle. Now, Siaki Ika's size is standing at 6'4", 350 pounds, so he is a large human, but he moves a lot faster than what you expect him to be. And when we dig right into the tape, I'm so happy to go ahead and get into some of the things he does do well, because I really think that he's a first-round talent that just didn't have the stats that jumped out on the stat sheet for you. So let's go ahead and get into the first category. To be fair, before we get into this, there wasn't a lot of tape that I can find on Siaki Ika where he was actually productive, so I did want to give you some context. I reviewed 2 games from 2001 from Oklahoma State and Ole Miss, and 1 game from 2022 from Iowa State. When you talk about Siaki Ika, or you've watched the film, you know how powerful this guy is, how much strength he has for the size that he is. Nasty, kind of grizzly bearish type player. And obviously this is his best attribute here as far as power moves. Out of 25 possible points, we gave the guy 24 points, man. Almost perfect. There's some times where he gets a little bit out of position, and I don't know, it's a little confusing. It's like he doesn't know that he's as strong sometimes, but that's neither here nor there. You're going to see the film, you're going to see the great things that he does with this power, but just watch the film. Look how powerful he can be. Look at the double teams that he's pulling just himself. Go back and just watch the games on this guy. This guy is absolutely incredible, and let's just go ahead and dig into the film. All right, so I slowed this one down so you guys can see it, but the power move here, he's right there in the middle of the field. I believe that's on number 70. You see just one-handed, almost, I wouldn't want to say hands to the face call. He had it, around his neck, around the collar region. But you see, driving him back even with one hand, gets his feet planted once he steps up. I mean, even though that this was an outside run by the quarterback, you have to respect the fact that the dude is powerful on a guard, one-handed when he was a little bit out of position, and boom, he puts such a good play in motion, just in case that this was a run. He kind of kept his eyes on the running back the whole time too. As you see, he looks over right there, number 27, just in case the option was coming that way. But just the power moves of this guy is absolutely incredible. All right, so Siaki Ika is right at the top of your screen there. Of course, I'll put a marker, but look how he sheds the block. One hands this guy, sheds him the complete opposite way of where the play was going. So comes up on 73 here, uses left hand, shoves this guy to the side, and bam, tries to get right to Matt Corral here on this play. And forces him to run outside. And I can't remember if this was a completed pass or not, but this is what you call absolutely being manhandled by the defender. Absolutely incredible play from Siaki Ika right here. All right, so this is one of those plays, man, that just shows you the dominance of a player. This play was almost disrupted from him just pushing the guard from the opposite side over and running over the running back here. So if you watch him here, bam, 21 almost got ran over, but this is absolute dominance. Foot in the grass, pushing this dude all the way back. This is what he brings to your football team every single time. And just think about what Myles Garrett is going to be able to do if he's getting this much leverage from one of the players on his team. You know, when you talk about power moves, this is the epitome of a bull rush. I think this is one of those underrated attributes for Siaki Ika and how big he is. He's actually very, very nimble on his feet. And I fought myself through this rating scale for him because you have seen the bad, but when it's good, it's buttery smooth good too. So with finesse moves, I had to give him a 13 out of 15 on his finesse moves. Look, I've seen this guy do swim moves to get to a sack. I've seen this guy do swim moves and all kinds of athletic spins to get to the running back in the running game, man. And you know, with him being really good with his footwork and being that nimble, he deserved this rating. Let's get into the film so you can see some of that fun action that he does. All right, when you talk about finesse moves, man, watch this. He just basically just swims through the offense. Two guys moved out the way, guard and the tackle. They're gonna bring it closer here so you guys can see. Steps up, move him out the way, move him out the way, right there in that 2-wide position, and bam, go ahead and makes a great play. You know, trying to get outside on this screen, or this looks like actually that this is a boot play right here. Yeah, this is a boot play for sure. And you know, by all accounts, you have to give credit where credit is due on certain things like this. And you know, him swimming through defenders, and I'll tell you about that nimbleness. He definitely has that in his toolkit. Now this next play is not going to be something super exciting, but I just want you guys to watch the spin move that he actually puts on the guard here. You know, if the quarterback would have had the ball there, he wouldn't have had not a lot of time to react to getting the pass out. So, you know, one of those good things where you pat him on the back and you say, continue to do that. And again, the nimbleness of defensive tackle, you usually don't see this nowadays. Now this is a play that I absolutely love. Again, not going to stand out on any stat sheet or anything like that, but I want you guys to watch this sequence here. He's going to put a spin move on. He's going to get blocked by 2 defenders, kept his eye on the ball, and then he jumps up trying to bat the ball down. This is just what you want. Maximum effort out of your guy every single time. You know what I'm saying? So here we go again, play to play, bam, spin move, gets blocked by 2 people and still try to get a hand in there. Wow, let's see how much he got down the field. That was almost, I was like 4 yards down the field trying to make a play on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage there. So, man, you know, like I said, if you want finesse moves out of a big guy, just go watch some Siaki Ika tape and he'll show you how it's done. I know I was talking about fighting with myself on several different ratings, but tackling is one of those things that he's just absolutely excellent in as well, but not in the ways that you would think. What I mean by that is the tackling that Siaki Ika does is a safety blanket, making sure that this guy doesn't move. You've seen several times on tape and in games where once he wraps around you, that extra quarter yard that you think that you're getting, you're going to stop right there in your tracks. Great form tackler, powerful. Whenever he grabs you, you're not getting out. This is not a guy that you're going to break too many tackles with. And you know, for our rating scale, I gave him a 14 out of 15 in tackling. Look, sometimes it can be lower, sometimes it can be higher. It could be as high as, you know, a perfect rating on a 15 for him as well. But the tackling is just incredible, and he will dive after tackles too, even though he might not get it. We're really expecting a big man like this to stretch the field. Absolutely not. But just the effort, you have to give him some percentage points just for that. And 14 out of 15 in tackling is exactly where I think he belongs. All right, so we're about to get into a little bit of that tackling ability that we were talking about. So nothing too crazy here. You know, gets through the line of scrimmage, comes down, and like I said, once you get tackled by Siaki Ika, you're not going anywhere. And this was on almost double coverage right here. He almost was double blocked on this play. You know, both the offensive linemen there were trying to get in and make a play, but Siaki Ika busts through the play, kept his eyes on the ball, tracks the guys down and drags them down by the hip. Textbook tackle for a big man. So I know vision is not a category for, you know, the defensive tackles in my slider series, but I just want you guys to pay attention to the vision of Siaki Ika. Push the guy out the way, gets his hands around the guy's hips as he's running the ball right up the gut here. So pushes the center out the way, bam, comes in and makes the tackle. Let's watch this one more time. Push the center out the way, opposite side, 51 didn't know what to do, and then bam, tackle gets made. This is what the Browns are going to get every single Sunday, and I'm sure they've seen this 1,000 times and they're like, yep, we got to pull the trigger on this guy. That's something that we're obviously lacking in the middle of our field. You can almost add this play in the finesse category. So basically he's going to put a spin move on the defender and then come in for the tackle. So bam, spin move on the defender, comes in for the tackle, and always kept his eyes on the play here. This was just a sick move. Bam, spin moves, tackles the guy down, doesn't really get too far, you know, accounts for, you know, an assisted tackle right here. But man, this is the stuff that you absolutely love of Siaki Ika, man. And you know, just to close out our tackling category here, what you know, there could be a better play that I could have, you know, kind of seeked out and showed you guys. This is what you're gonna get on Sundays, man. The Browns got a gym. And now we have to get to some of the bad, right? So that's what this slider series is about, explaining the good with the bad. Probably his worst part of his game for sure is his pass rush ability. I mean, 4.5 sacks in his whole career and the 4 years that he's played in college is not going to stand out to you. And I'm not a big stats guy when I'm really doing this. I really try to break down the film and tell you what the possibilities are for a player. I don't really think he has that, and I think he's going to make people around him stronger. Being with Myles Garrett is, of course, he's going to be a safety net for a lot of the things that Siaki Ika does. I gave him a 9 out of 15 on our scale for pass rush. Look, the guy's powerful, the guy's nimble on his feet, the guy has spin moves. We all seen that up to this point, but the speed and getting to the quarterback you have to have. And unfortunately for a lot of defensive fronts with the centers and the guards, they have a tough time against Aaron Donald, but you can also line him on the outside because he's so good with his speed and so powerful. You have a lot of power and a lot of nimbleness without the speed here. So let's go ahead and dig into the film and show you what I mean. So you want to talk about some pass rush ability? Here we go. We're going to seek out a couple good plays here, starting with this one on Iowa State. Moves the center out the way. The guard didn't really know what to do as far as tackling him, but are blocking him. So he gets here, puts his hands up, and, you know, tries to get to the quarterback. I told you this is something that he's going to lack, is obviously his speed. I mean, he's a big guy, 357 pounds, 6'4". Yeah, he might have a little tough time of, you know, trying to garner some speed up there, but this is what you love to see. Eyes always on where the ball is, and obviously the quarterback had it here. Step back for a couple seconds, and Siaki Ika almost got there by all accounts. So this is one of those plays where you get a half a sack, but you get all the brownie points for all the destruction that you cause. So look at this. Totally destroys his guard here and gets up to the play, and, you know, gets 0.5 for the sack here, gets his hand on him, and then 55 came in and helped him finish right there on the edge. Bust through the line. Matt Corral didn't know what to do, and by all accounts, you know, Matt Corral is one of my favorite quarterbacks that I've seen in college and super athletic. So I don't know why he didn't know that the pressure, he didn't feel that before, but these guys broke down instantly, and a big part of it was Siaki Ika. So let's watch this one more time. The destruction on 54. Move out my way, and bam, tries to come up for the tackle. And, you know, that's why he went a little bit down on our tackling scale there. But yeah, man, he's an absolute monster. So what can we do? We can almost add every category that we talked about up to this point. We could talk about power, finesse, footwork, you know, not really tackling ability because he didn't really make the sack here, but an almost sack. But look at the pressure that he puts in the backfield here. The guard didn't stand a chance, running back didn't stand a chance, still got his hand up in the air. but kept his feet moving. So let's see. No, actually, this was the center. The center and the running back actually got it this time. So watch it one more time here. Bam, hits the center. The running back didn't even stand a chance trying to block this guy. And, you know, Spencer Sanders almost gets tackled in the backfield for a sack. So you never want to feel that type of pressure. He better be glad he found, you know, a soft zone coverage there to get the ball over for the first down. But Siaki Ika was coming, man. This is literally everything that we talked about at this point as a culmination of the type of player that you're getting. Run stuffing is the reason why you draft Siaki Ika. It has the most potential points and our slider scale so far. With out of a 30, Siaki Ika is going to give you a 27 out of 30 for his run stuff ability. The only thing that he's lacking, like I said, is the speed and just the athletic ability to get to a running back. If he was to break off in speed, like we had looked at, he's not the best at, you know, stretching the field for a tackle. But with that being said, 27 out of 30 possible points for run stuff. This is why you draft him. You draft him to plug up the middle of the field. You put him in the middle of the field to get around those defenders too and get a hand on that running back. I mean, there's a lot of small backs in the league, and he just makes those backs look like he's just swallowing up, like he's a big crashing tidal wave in the middle of that field. So let's get into the last category here. This is why the Browns have him. And man, if they were lacking in that category before, they're definitely not going to be after this year. They're going to see all the potential in the world for this guy and stopping the run ability. So when we talk about run stuff ability, you talk about just causing a disruption to the run game mostly. So let's go ahead and look at that, man. So Siaki Ika is right here in the middle of the field. Swim moves around this guy, pulls the running back's jersey, and his teammate came in for the cleanup. This is what you want. You don't necessarily have to make the tackle if you're not in a position to make it, but put your hands on somebody. Make sure that you are causing a disruption and making this play live in hell for the, you know, for the running back or quarterback or wide receiver, whoever it is. But in this particular case, since we're talking about run stuff, this is the textbook version of what we would call a backfield run stuff, and he got to him, was able to stretch his jersey to probably the size that he would wear, and, you know, he came up and made the tackle. All right, so right there at the top of your screen, you're going to see, you know, just to preface this, you're going to see a bunch of stuff going on. We'll be able to see it from another angle. But Siaki Ika basically takes this guy in the backfield, runs 66 into his running back, and this is a run stuff. So just look at this. 66 didn't even have a chance. Came up, kept his eyes on the running back. They read this the whole way, and what a excellent play. Run stuff 101. Move these guys and make it hard for the running back to even pass the line of scrimmage. What a successful play here. Now I'm about to highlight, and I actually showed this on Twitter as I was editing this. This is my favorite play that I've seen from Siaki Ika. Watch as the line crashes to the left. He notices it, keeps his eyes on the running back the whole time, and really gets out of trouble from two guys. Makes the tackle in the backfield. And again, run stuff. Ran into a brick wall. I don't know what the running back thought he was about to do, trying to run him over. Kept his feet moving, kept his eyes on the ball. And the football IQ of Siaki Ika is something that, you know, we don't actually have on our rating scale, but he's going to score high wherever he is as far as being tested on what exactly to do on each play. And for running backs, he's going to be a nightmare for years to come. All right, so just to go ahead and wrap this thing up, man, Siaki Ika is obviously a force to be reckoned with. For him to have gone in the third round is still beyond me, but hey, I'm not an NFL scout. I'm just here to tell you exactly what I see and how I process and break down film. So final score, 87 out of 100, a B plus, man. Our second highest player that we've rated so far in the last 7 slider series. You know, obviously the positive, the miscellaneous positive is you cannot deny the guy's power. He's super powerful. You know, being 6'4", 357 pounds, he shows every bit of it, man. And that's what you're gonna get every single down from him. Some of the negatives, not a pass rusher. So if you're drafting this guy, you can't expect him to be a pass rusher. Maybe he can develop into a little bit of something later on. You just don't know. But I wouldn't go in my first intention thinking that, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be an excellent pass rusher, the next Aaron Donald type of pass rusher, because he's not. But to pull double and part, you know, maybe some triple teams down the road, you can obviously expect that from him. And you know, to me, it seems like a stretch. It does, but if you look at both the film between him and Vita Vea, it's so comparable. And I know people are going to be like, oh my gosh, there's a Polynesian connection there. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, recency bias maybe, but they play so similar to me that it's hard to differentiate the two, even if you were to swap skins on these guys. But, you know, hey, man, you know, this is obviously a great player. The Cleveland Browns are set for years to come, and this was so fun doing this and reliving what he did in college. But if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comment section down below what you liked about it, what you didn't like about the video. Who would you like me to do next? I kind of have an idea who I want to do, but I love to see what everybody else says who I should do. But this is everybody's favorite couch quarterback, Dante, here with the Slider series and East Coast Gridiron. We'll talk to you guys later.